Post-fight after victory, Israel Adesayan says, I decide. Why? Because I'm the mother king. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more fighting. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's jump right into it. Stylebender, he did what he always does, or usually does. Actually, coming off a loss to Jan Blachowicz, he retains his title in the middleweight category. You guys see UFC 263. Now, big shout out to everybody who clicked my link and ordered the UFC 263 ESPN Plus using my link. That's a great way to help improve the channel. You know, I'm one person, so we can do more. And I want to talk about Adesanya's performance. He says he was calling out Robert Whittaker for a rematch, but he says it has to happen in my territory, my turf, Auckland, because he traveled for the first Robert Whittaker fight, stopped him. And this was also a rematch in this particular fight too. So you see, and still, Jan Blachowicz says good fight. He's the guy who just fought in a higher weight category and beat Stylebender. So it was a nice bounce back performance. Let's talk about it. To me, this is the division where, you know, it makes the most sense for Stylebender to be at. You know, he tried something different. Maybe he was feeling himself a lot and he went up and fought a big Polish fighter, Jan Blachowicz, but he looked right back to normal. This division has suited him well and acquitted him well. His timing was amazing. He really just picked apart Vettori. Like, some people thought that Vettori had done some things and grown since their first fight. They did fight in 2018, but if you really look at it, the first fight in 2018, Adesanya won via split decision. This, he won by decision as well, but it was clear cut. There were no arguments. Post-fight, Vettori tried to say he thought he won the fight, and Adesanya kind of checked that at the door and said, yo, this is martial arts. We don't like each other. This is one of the weak-ass takedown attempts from Vettori. He said we don't have to like each other, but this is an art form, you know what I mean? So show respect. You didn't win the fight. You can go to bed if it helps you sleep at night. You can believe whatever you want. Anybody who watched this fight knows the victor was Stylebender. So back to my breakdown. What I liked, Stylebender coming off of a loss at a higher division, he looked at home. These legs kicks that you were seeing, he mixed it too well. You know, he was damaging. He had Lieutenant Dan legs from Forrest Gump. I was running. Look at this punch. He was mixing up his attack very well. Kicks, high kicks, low kicks. Vettori, I guess he wanted dead legs because he wasn't even trying to check nothing, and he was just eating the whole kick. Look, there's another right on cue. You see these hard, he was chopping down the tree. Hard kicks. And Vettori, look, he didn't do anything. He was head hunting. There was moments like this, and Adesanya showed great takedown defense, and he showed great ground game, and you know, he just really dominated and controlled the fight. This was a good moment for Adesanya where he stood up and then he ended up hitting Vettori with a couple of shots. It was a bad night. You know, a lot of people thought that the first fight being close, this could be somewhere like that, but we've seen Stylebender has grown both in stylistically and also in confidence. He was on another planet tonight. He was just simply too good, too real, and he showed that there was just levels to this. This fight looked really different. You just see the maturation of Stylebender. Stylebender, his prediction was accurate. He said he's going to dominate and stuff like that. Some people are saying why he didn't stop him, but some guys are tough, and when you're dominating the guy, it's up to them to make adjustments. Vettori did nothing. He did all this talking. They said he had the chance to be the first Italian champion or whatever, and ultimately he didn't produce much of anything. He did foolish takedowns. Like, it was, his whole game plan was devoid of a real strategy. It was really lacking. Like, there was a point in the fight, championship fight, 5-rounder, where he's clearly getting outclassed. His legs have to be hurting him, and at the end of the day, he elects to take down. So I think that's just a testament to the octagon and just controlling the distance and real estate by Stylebender. and he just gave him so many different looks, from the punches, uppercuts, great strikes. He dedicated post-fight. He dedicated the fight to somebody who had passed away. So I thought that was a good moment. But all in all, Adesanya is back in business like we thought. This is the division he belongs in. And, you know, it's a very surgical and strategic. He just picked his man apart, you know. I also, you know, this is a little graphic. Remains UFC middleweight champion. I also made this tweet. I want to show you guys. I said, this is Vettori after fighting Izzy, because his legs had been killing him. I know there's no way his legs was feeling good after that. He was getting kicked hard as he was getting kicked hard. So this is Vettori right here. In case you was wondering, I made this gift for y'all. Well, I didn't make it, but I posted this. Very, very good bounce back performance again. Adesanya, he won via decision, but unlike the first fight in 2018, clear cut. The only person that I seen even thought Vettori won was him himself. You didn't see that urgency. You've seen a lot of control, a lot of maturity in Stylebender. There was even moments where, in true Stylebender fashion, he was taunting and playing around. He grabbed Vettori's butt. You know what I mean? Because the crowd was starting to boo Vettori because he was making these asinine decisions to try to go for a takedown, when it got to a point where he pretty much needed a knockout or something very big to happen, and he was electing to do this. So I think Adesanya was a little perturbed, because kind of like the Yoel Romero fight, when you're in there with a dance partner that approaches you in a certain way, it could make the fight a little bit more lackluster. Luckily, this one had a bit more action than the Yoel Romero fight. But at the end of the day, there were parts of it where Vettori, if he really wanted to become a champion and he kind of went for broke, it would have created more openings for Stylebender. But those moments didn't happen. There were some weird takedown attempts late in the fight. You know, I just don't understand what the strategy was for Vettori. He says, I'm going to look like the champion from the first second of the fight. This is definitely not what happened. So that was a quote beforehand. Adesanya, he looked good. Post-fight called out Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is a good fighter, and he already beat him, but he says he's in charge. They can do the fight in his backyard because he's the king. So very impressed. Surgical, technical performance. He looked loose in there. He just looked like the Stylebender that we've grown to expect at his actual weight, the weight, you know what I mean? I know people were kind of pushing him that way, and maybe he wanted to test himself because of the John Jones beef and stuff like that, but he looked right at home at middleweight, and it was just a supreme dominant performance. And I think this is great for the fighter as well. He was also doing this when the crowd started booing, because Vettori was trying to do these weird takedowns. But I think this is good for the fighter also, like Stylebender, because you have a tough fight where you win via split decision, and now it's put to rest. You showed clear separation, you showed progress over the years, and you look better in this fight than you did even in the first fight. So you show that maturity. So that's what we like to see from fighters. Continue to build, add to your arsenal, continue to grow. So excellent performance. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Shout out to Stylebender. I enjoyed this one. Very good card. Check out my video on Nate Diaz. That man is a monster. He was relentless. This man coming out like the Terminator. Even when it looked like the chips were down and Leon Edwards was looking good, out of nowhere, it was one of the craziest final rounds that we've seen in recent memory. But shout out to Leon Edwards also. He did a lot of damage, but he also got hurt at the end, so made for a fun fight. Look at him flexing. Hey, Nate Diaz is crazy. Shout out to Stockton 209. You know, I'm from the NorCal, so it is what it is. Use my link in the description to get TUBEBUDDY, an awesome way if you're a content creator to level up your content, make money on this platform with TUBEBUDDY. I've been using TUBEBUDDY for years. I make money. This I do full time, and it can help you too by getting your videos ready and optimized for the next level and for the viewers to find and see. And there's a lot of caked in features that aren't readily available on YouTube by itself. This is the #1 tool click the link in the description for YouTubers. It's called TUBEBUDDY. Use my link. Shout out to everyone that ordered this fight, UFC 263, from yours truly. I appreciate that. That also helps the channel grow. Let me know what you think of Stylebender. What's next? Who would you pick in a Robert Whittaker rematch? All that and more in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.